All right. I'm slightly out of focus. How's it going, everybody? I will try to put myself in the focus. There we go. Well, then it's going to get a little bit out of focus as soon as I go back.
You did a little camera swapping there.
Yeah. I swapped out what I use for my webcam. Not that it really... Nobody else should be able to tell a difference.
Yeah.
Because, it's all the same. How's it going?
It's going pretty okay.
Yeah.
I need more sleep, but
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I got in a string of just like waking up before I was ready this week.
Oh, I feel like you've been like doing that a lot lately. I mean, I've noticed you appear in the Discord like between the hours of 9 and 10 when it used to be between like 10 and 12.
Yeah.
But now it's been pretty regularly like between 9 and 10.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I've had a few weeks. I've had I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks this year like that.
Yeah.
But most of the time I'm fine.
Yeah. Do you feel more productive?
Huh?
Do you feel more productive when
No, because I just lay in bed and look at my phone wishing I was asleep.
Oh. I thought you were up and about at that time.
No, I'm just I wish I could go back to sleep, but I can't. I'm sure I'm going to try to go to bed earlier tonight and hopefully get me fixed up for this week.
Get you fixed up with those fixins. You remember going to eat someplace and they call all the extra stuff the fixins. I wonder what the history is of that word.
Fixins.
Yeah, I don't really know.
It's definitely a country, an American country term for sure. Fixins. Yeah, I mean Bojangles is the fixins.
Yeah, maybe it's a.
I think is Cracker Barrel. Is Cracker Barrel also fixins?
I don't know. I've only been to Cracker Barrel one time.
Really?
Yeah, seriously. And I stopped at a Cracker Barrel 2 weeks ago when I was driving up to Akron, but that was just to basically use the bathroom.
Well, see that. I
And
mean,
there's like a whole like gift shop in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, so okay, look, I like actually haven't been to like eat at Cracker Barrel like that many times overall. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I've
You
actually
just go
like
for the gift shop.
no. See, here's the thing. My mom, back when I was in, middle school, high school, and or even when I was like in college and like going back and forth between like home and college, my mom had this thing for the longest time where she was like convinced that Cracker Barrel had like the cleanest bathrooms, and they were like the only like bathrooms she was willing to use while like making a road, like at least like the like Delaware to North Carolina road trip, like you did not, she didn't want to pee anywhere but a Cracker Barrel.
It was like Cracker Barrel was like the Sheets.
Like yeah, the Sheets or perhaps the Buc-ee's even.
Yes.
I do have this that I might sample at some point during the trip. Scott Snyder, who sent me an extra bag of beaver nuggets, also sent this, which is triple mixed popcorn with caramel, kettle, and cheddar.
The triple McPopcorn.
I'll give it a try maybe after a bit, but no. So like, we mostly just went there to go to the bathroom, and then of course she would look for a bit, and I always like, I always like, oh, you just want to believe that Cracker Barrel's bathrooms are the only clean bathrooms because you just want to look at the shop. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it just surprises me that you're like so unfamiliar.
Yeah.
But like as far as eat, like I've always thought like, well, Cracker Barrel's okay, but like I never thought it was like that good. Well, I mean, for one, like there's often a wait. Like you see people like sitting outside, like on the rocking chairs waiting.
And there's most likely in every group that's going there, there's not at least one person at all times is over the age of 65, probably.
Oh yeah. Except like the 2 times I went by myself, but yes, for sure. Probably some suspenders involved.
Yes.
But I actually, I stopped at Cracker Barrel last summer while I was driving. I was just looking for something to eat, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have Cracker Barrel. And you know what? Like, it kind of like reignited a renewed appreciation, I would say. I had it on my mind. I'm like, I should eat at the Cracker Barrel near me sometime.
Yeah.
Like I had this really stupid idea that I was going to eat there on New Year's Day. and like, of course Cracker Barrel is going to be like beyond packed on New Year's Day. So that did not happen. I did eat there.
I'm surprised that they'd be that packed on New Year's Day.
I mean,
I guess. I don't know. It's not something that
Cracker Barrel is. I don't know.
That I would do.
It's got its clientele.
Nobody that I know.
As you say, age of 60. Someone over the age of 65 is almost always involved.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's
they should serve. They should
be pretty good at.
They should just serve grape nuts. They should have where you can just order grape nuts. Because I feel like that would
I'm sure some folks would order them. Like that's the
appetizer. So this is like kind of a last minute idea that I had. I was kind of racking my brain today of like what I wanted to play, and I figured like the success of the Switch video it's like much bigger than we were expecting. I think, like especially me. And I felt like it's brought in like a good amount of new people, and I thought, what better way to make them feel good about their subscription today than to play some TurboGrafx 16
an S video, a video connection that all those new subscribers absolutely have the ability to use.
Yeah,
S video over VGA to a RetroTink 4K.
Right.
With a very specific TurboGrafx mod.
Yes. And this showed up on Wednesday. I sent this Duo RX that I had for a long time. Like I bought it from somebody kind of like close to me, and it came with the box and everything like that. And I was just kind of thinking I'm going to keep this stock forever. And then I decided, like, why not? Like, I got a cap kit for it a long time ago, and then you had talked about using the enhanced S video with yours, not an RX, but or even it's just a regular PC engine, right?
Regular square PC engine, yeah.
Right. So I decided to get that, and I sent it off to Fenris Wolf Retro, who installed this. He installed the mod, recapped the whole thing, and put a region mod in it. And his whole thing is on his YouTube channel. So if you go on, after the stream, like you can look at the whole install at on.
Well, that'll be good because I can maybe link to that video when I get my video on this out. I was working like a month and a half ago or so. Like I was actively working on a video about the Turbo Nanza mod, even though it's like not a new thing. I want to spread awareness about.
Well, now that I have one, I think we can probably put together something pretty quick if we wanted to. Like, especially if it's just both of us. I mean, if we wanted to do it both of us, if there's anything that I could offer based on like,
I mean, honestly, like it. I mean, it probably doesn't need to be much more than like a 10 or 12 minute video, to be honest.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I was working on it, but then I wasn't able to finish it at the time for various reasons. And then we, moved on to like that Switch 1 tribute and then this Switch 2 video that came out yesterday. So, but that's, unless something comes up that I'm like, oh, I should do this first. Like it's my intent to get back to that because I was well along on that. And that's why, in fact, you have the profiles that I created that are pretty darn dialed in already.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't even know if I'd need to do anything else, but do you want to like explain to people what the enhanced S video is? Because I think that I'm going to switch over to the gameplay here.
Yeah. People might not fully know what it is.
But I mean, I have
I'm sure I'll explain it better in the video, but
see how crisp.
Yeah, so I don't. Oh yeah, so can you like
I can see a little noise on the green, but that could also have to do with the fact that it is in the very last port of my
well, no, I think that's normal, and actually that dark green is normally quite noisy on Bonk. Like that the first level in Bonk tends to show noise pretty badly, like regardless of how good your system is.
Right.
Like I see it, it looks actually even worse on my my RGB PC.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe this is good because maybe the new like the recap and everything has helped it a bunch.
Why don't you like start the game so that you can like make Bonk stop moving so that it's easier to like check if we've got dialed in. I mean, it looks like we might need to make some small adjustments. But yeah, so what enhanced S video is it's a feature of the Retrode 4K that we didn't really have the capability to use until we had the SVS.
Right.
And while you move forward, like, and get to like where you get to like by some of those mountains, like there's like some like things you have to jump over because that might be a little easier to look at for checking the phase and stuff. So it's you have to feed S video into the Retrode 4K via the HD15, D-sub, VGA, whatever you want to call it. You have to do it in there. And what it does is it utilizes both the RGB decoder and the SDP decoder, which is like what handles composite and S video. So it actually uses both of them, and to fully dial it in, you have to use both menus. So what this does is it uses the Luma portion of the S video signal and feeds that through the same way that Luma is used with component, because that's the Y of the YPVPR, right?
Right.
So, And then it like does the chroma stuff through like the regular like composite decoder functions. So yeah, it's kind of a combination of the two. So that way, essentially what it's doing is it's basically making like a black and white picture that is as sharp as component video or RGB. But
how's this look?
The chroma, you know, being S video, the chroma like isn't perfect. Yeah. Why don't you stop there? Pause the game and zoom in. So the chroma can bleed a little bit, but I with my profile, I got it pretty tight. Like it doesn't bleed too far out of the boundaries. Yeah, like right there should be pretty good. So you can see like around those gray blocks, like you can see a little bit of like gray bleeding out. But like you're going to get little stuff like that.
Right.
Honestly, I think this looks good. Why don't you bring up the RGB component decoder and like remember which setting the phase is at, and then just like tap it like one to the left or right, just one. Oh, actually, I wanted to be able. Well, okay, you can show where you're going, just so if you are curious.
Yeah.
But I move it back over to where I can see the egg guy.
Yeah.
I want to see.
So am I manipulating the
decimation phase? But I want to see the egg guy as you do this. So tell me when you move it one.
Okay.
To the side.
Okay, so there's 5 of 8, and here's 6.
Oh, go the other way. Go the other. Oh,
okay. So
where did it start?
Right there. Yep. Okay, so this is 8 of 8 right now.
Is that where it started?
No, it started at 6 of 8.
Oh. You know, there's lag. There was one where it was really good. Oh,
right here, like 8 of 8 is
like you don't see like that. You know, right, like, next to his eye, there was like a little bit of a glow, right?
Right, like. And also like the brown, like the red and brown, like on his body, you can kind of see like that one little area kind of.
Oh, there's like one pixel flickering on his body.
Yeah, but if I go to 8 of 8, then it's fine.
Oh, but then there's like the bright line next to his eye again.
Okay, but okay. So right now I'm at 8 of 8, and I don't.
Okay, so now. Well, I don't see the flickering pixel anymore.
Actually. Right.
So what the sub phase does, the sub phase is like kind of just like a finer tune within that range. Where is it now? Take note where sub.
The decimation is at 8 of 8.
No, sub phase. Where's sub phase?
168.75.
Okay, so remember that 168.
Hang on, let me
and like move that through the full range, just like from 0 to 300 something. Like, see if that makes any flickering pixels that you notice, like, go away.
Which way? Up or down?
Either way. And if it makes anything better, slightly better or slightly worse.
I'm just going way up.
And like, I'm seeing, like, next to the black lines of, like, the platform where Bonk is, to the right edge. Oh, now see, it sort of started bleeding blue. That black edge by the sky started bleeding blue a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
When you moved it too far one way.
Well, it's not going away now.
Well, it went away. What'd you get it on when it went away?
I'm like, it's like real high right now.
Oh, well, high is fine. Nothing wrong with high.
Yeah, I mean it's maxed out right now.
Well, it was perfect at some point. Go back to 186 or wherever it started.
168. So this is where it starts as 168.
At some point that looks. I think it looks pretty good now.
Yeah, I mean it's like. Yeah, like
So okay, so
213.
I mean I think we can consider this done for now. So
Well, the LPF is that strong.
that's okay because I found that it helped. I mean, you can try setting it to 16, but I think 9 megahertz overall helped.
Okay.
Normally I would prefer 16 megahertz for RGB, but I felt it helped a bit for this. That was just my opinion though. Okay, so go ahead and exit that menu and then go to the SDP decoder. And I think this will just be fun for people to see.
Okay.
I don't think you actually need to make a change, but at the bottom it'll say chroma shift. What's the starting value?
-6.
-6. Okay, remember that. Now just move it. Just move it either direction. I think it's kind of funny. Like you can move it like way out. Like you can make like Bonk have like
It looks like his soul is leaving his body.
Yeah, like give him an out of body experience, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what you're seeing there is like the chroma. That's like a little noisier, but you can see how like the pixels of like the Luma is like perfect because it's the same thing as S video, right?
Right.
So you can't get it 100% perfect.
But I'm trying to get it like spot on, so it looks like
it's going to bleed a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, but you want it to look as good as possible. I mean, if you can get it better than -6, then
well, you can see.
But I thought -6 looked fine. Oh, but
no, if you look at his face, you can kind of see it. Like it's -6, but if I go up.
Well, okay, well maybe that will help that line by the platform that was turning blue.
Right.
Like if you move it there, that looks. Although now I see a little hint of a line bleeding on the other side. Yeah. But you like try to get to where that line looks just black or close enough to black without bleeding to the right.
It's a trade-off. I don't know if I can get it like perfectly.
It is a trade-off. You can't get it 100% perfect.
Right.
But like when you sit back, the perception most of the time is like you've got essentially component video quality. And we haven't even said why this is significant. The reason you want this is so cool is because the S video is generated internally. And don't forget to save your settings when you're good here. But the S video is generated internally with this mod based on like the composite source. So it's like it's using the composite palette.
Right.
Which is
like the whole reason for like wanting this.
The whole reason for this. So this makes it in effect the sharpest way you can get PC Engine out of original hardware, which is really cool, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason I ended up doing that. Even though I realized like I have so many different ways to play these games, I just didn't realize I realized I didn't have a way to like just have an S video way of playing, like to have the enhanced S video. You know what I mean? Because if you go with component, then you need to then you're gonna suffer because you're gonna have the wrong palette.
Yeah, and I think this is by far the best use case I can think of for enhanced S video.
Right.
So I just think it's really interesting, and that's why I just want to do a quick video on it. I think it will fascinate a lot of people. Like, yes, you could get this out of Mister or another emulator.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But like to do it with original hardware, that's freaking cool.
Yeah. And although it might not be the way that I play most of these games, it's just neat to have the option.
Yeah.
How does everything sound, by the way, everybody? Are the voices even and everything? I'm using my shotgun mic, which is what I'm going to be using for streams now.
Well, I don't know if I'm hearing you on the same mic, but it sounds good to me. Okay.
But if I turn up the game audio, do you hear that a little bit?
Hear what?
The game audio.
No.
Okay, good. But yeah, I knew that watching that is not like what a lot of people want. out of the stream, but I still think that it was just fun to do that, to kind of get an inside look at the stuff that Try can see that I obviously cannot.
Yeah, apparently I'm loud, by the way.
Oh, I can bring you down.
Just a bit loud.
Just a bit.
I should do some super chats.
Yes.
Because we got so involved in this and it's 8:30 already. Thank you. There are already 3 super chats. There was one before the stream from Tilbtoast. Good to see that pre-stream super chat from Tilbtoast again. Love it. Love saying Tilbtoast. With a great question saying, "Hey all, what game has the most delicious looking meat morsel?"
Meat
does
morsel?
The morsel have to be small? I mean, I'm assuming he's thinking of Bonk. You know, Bonk eats meat.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it has to be like, you know, like if we're specifically talking like just meat or can it be like meat prepared into another dish? Does it have to be small meat? Like more, I think when I think of a morsel, it's small, right?
Yeah.
Well, like Bonk eats some pretty big meat. Like the first thing that comes to mind is what I like to call the disaster burgers from Disaster Day of Crisis, which are like these gigantic hamburgers, and like he picks it up and is like, hum, 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 hum. And it's incredible because it's like this, you know, realistic looking kind of serious game, and you know, this is how you recover health. It's great.
The disaster
that's what burger. I think of. Like, does that? I don't know if that counts as a meat morsel, but it is like meat.
It's hard to say.
In the video game, like it. I don't know why that wouldn't count.
Yeah, I don't know if I could pick something that's like the easiest meat morsel. Like I don't even know
the tastiest looking meat morsel.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Final Fantasy 15 has like the best looking food in it. Like the meals in that game, they almost look photorealistic.
Yeah, you know, I feel like, gosh, I feel like I played something like a few years ago that had like potentially even better looking food, and it wasn't. I feel like it wasn't a game that you would necessarily. Oh, it was. Was it like Pikmin 4? Did that have good looking food in it? I can't remember.
I love this dinosaur's haircut. It's just like got that center part on it.
Well, I don't know if Dragon's Crown is a suggestion of good looking food. I do recall Odin Sphere had very good looking food.
Yeah. Vanillaware is pretty good at having these like real like I don't know, just juicy looking meals.
Yeah. Trying to remember if there's anything else. I mean, sometimes like, you know, some of the like meat kebabs and like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom can look pretty delicious. Also, you know, Final Fantasy 14, like, I want to say it was kind of starting with Endwalker, like really up to their food game. Like you can tell there was just like someone on the team extremely passionate about making the food look good. And like, they didn't have to, but it was like their personal mission to like make the food graphics like look better than almost everything else in the game. Like it is like significantly like higher polygon and more detailed than is necessary. There's some really good looking like pizza and burgers and tacos. Yes, the hamburger was it oh, I shouldn't say the name of the character because it might be a spoiler. There was a certain character that I think was eating a hamburger in an Endwalker scene. I want to say Alizé had a good chomp on a burger at some point too.
What is it?
Tacos. I want to say the tacos in Dawn Trail were maybe a little low rent.
That's what I say every time I eat. When it's not a meal and I'm snacking, I say, feed yourself with some bonus food. So everyone needs to say that from now on. If you're eating when it's not time to actually be eating a meal, say feed yourself with some bonus food.
I mean, maybe you'll earn some extra lives.
Yeah, well, I did not there.
Feed yourself with some bonus food. Heck yeah.
Ooh, it's time to headbutt those hot rocks. Man.
There was $2 super chat from Dad1153. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying your 37-minute Switch 2 review better than DF's 2-hour plus? Question mark? I mean,
they're different.
They're different. I mean, I like DF's video.
Yeah.
I mean, our video, you know, there were a few comments that's like, oh, like you should have used this opportunity to say something about game key cards, or I'm disappointed you didn't spread the word that there needs to be 120 hertz in VRR. And I'm like, those features are irrelevant to like the subject of the video.
Yeah. It's like, what do you want us to do about it?
It's not an all-encompassing Switch 2 video. It's like, these are the things we were curious about, our like Discord community was curious about, people who are interested in retro games, people who are interested in you know, playing their old games better, ensuring that their old games continue to be useful on the new hardware, that they look good on the new hardware, stuff like that. It was not about, you know, there was like 2 clips of Mario Kart and like a short segment with some Cyberpunk clips, only because Cyberpunk and Welcome Tour were like the only ways we had to demonstrate mouse support, which I thought was relevant to mention because mouse support could potentially be really cool for, you know, remastered classic first-person shooters, for classic remastered adventure games. I think that could be a key draw, in fact, to like the Switch 2 versions of some of those games. So I think that's interesting and relevant. And it's just that we had to show Switch 2 games to demonstrate that. But otherwise, like we, you know, even when it got to HDR, I'm like, well, HDR isn't particularly useful for any of these games that were Switch 1 games that were updated to support. Like, it's okay-ish in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but I would stay away from it for the others.
In fact, like, you know, I realized when I had to capture a little clip of Link's Awakening and it was on, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to turn it off till it eventually gets fixed.
Well, I mean, HDR is fine in the system. It looks good in Mario Kart. I mean, some people are like, "Oh, Mario Kart." Like, I think their thing is like, "Oh, like HDR should like show detail that you can't see in SDR." And I don't know if I like that's cool, I guess, but like I don't fully agree with that necessarily. Like, I think that's a creative decision,
Man.
And you know, showing more detail in HDR is like, I think. Choosing to show all detail in SDR can be a relevant creative decision, or that's not the word, not relevant, but whatever. But
I'm not good at this.
I think that's fine. The important thing is HDR needs highlights, you know, from my perspective. Like, it needs like things that actually feel bright. And if they're blown out, they're blown out. You know, I was watching a video a while back that was, you know, kind of actually complaining about HDR and how it has like kind of changed the way movies look, and that like a lot of times the lighting isn't as interesting as it is in older movies. and he was commenting that, even though like you don't have to have like windows like blown out white with like modern cameras, like you can see the detail outside,
Right.
outside the window when you're exposed for indoor shooting conditions. You can see outside, like you can see outside with modern HDR cameras. But he was commenting that like Steven Spielberg like still chooses to like blow out his windows because that's like how they always looked in his movies. Like the windows are still blown out. So that's like a creative choice. So anyway, but I think HDR Mario Kart's quite good, honestly. And looks great in Cyberpunk as well. But yeah, like for now, like it's just that for Switch 1 games, it's not particularly relevant, and you do have. It is unfortunate because I've seen several people be confused, like the compatible software only feature isn't working because it turned on Link's Awakening and it looks dark. It's like, no, it actually is compatible software, but they shouldn't have made it compatible software. I don't think it really looks any different compared to just like if you just said, okay, output, HDR for everything. Well, Link's Awakening would look the same or close enough to the same. It's kind of silly. There was also a super chat from Breakman X. Thank you. Saying, love my Nanza. Would you mind sharing your profiles? I would love to share my profiles. Message me on Discord or maybe just drop an at me and maybe the RetroTink 4K channel on our Discord server, and I will drop them after the stream. Just remember, like we did with Coury, you may need to tweak the phase and the sub phase to get it perfect. You may need to tweak the chroma. Did you have to move the chroma, or did you get it back at -6?
I don't remember what it was at.
Yeah. Don't forget to save the profile.
I did. I did.
Cool. Yeah, you should be set. I've got it right now. I've kind of got like a high res and a low res profile. Like most games are going to be the low res profile. I couldn't get resolution switching to work quite reliably. I might take another crack at that again, but like for the most part, like you should just load the profile that is appropriate for the game. I don't think that many games like really change resolutions during the game, so it should generally be okay. But it's these aren't like 100% locked down. Like I don't think they're quite ready to like submit for like distribution and the the SD card sets.
Right.
But I think it's 99% there. So I would be happy to share if you have the means to use it. And there was also a $5 super chat from Container 7. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying Zoom was great, at least at first. Zoom. There's so many things that Zoom could be. What are we talking about? Zoom? Oh, the Zoom.
What?
I guess maybe talking about the zoomed in bonk.
Yeah, I mean that was just for the for us to do what we were doing. It's not like
I mean I think I saw someone say like, oh, it looks worse than it started, but I don't know. They might have been like commenting on like when you were quite done. I think it looks at least as good, if not slightly better than where it started. I mean, the thing people need to keep in mind, like phase is something that is just going to be slightly different in everyone's setup, because it's like literally like at what point in the signal is it taking the sample from, right? And the literally the length of your run can change that. Like the picture is slightly more left or right, like depending on like how long the signal has to travel. I mean, I don't fully understand the details of that. I might be explaining it kind of wrong, but like that's probably like the extreme layman version of it. And then there was also a $4.99 from Brian Rickard. Thank you. In the Team 4K video a year ago, Tri briefly mentioned the video correction menu with scan lines and SDR. I'd love a video about how to configure that. Video correction menu? Video correction menu. Scan lines and SDR. Oh, the color correction menu. Yes. So, let me be honest. So the thing about it's actually kind of funny. I was in a Discord channel with like other people who were testing the RetroTink 4K ahead of launch, and you know, most of these people are people like way smarter than us. And I've always kind of thought like, oh, it would be great if there was a way to make the video look a lot better when you're using scan lines and masks and stuff, because those darken the picture, right? And it never like felt right, you know, if you adjust like the gamma or whatever. And I was looking at the color correction menu. I'm like, there must be a way to like claw that back, because like, you know, you've got things like, obviously I wouldn't have had this reference at the time, but like, you know, like the new, you've kind of got this like mask and scan line filter. It's kind of faint, but in the, you know, N64 and GameCube apps on Switch 2 now. So like, but the brightness, you know, I did some comparisons in the video. The brightness feels the same, right? Between them. So they're compensating it for it somehow. I'm like, how can you achieve that? And like the other people who were in that chat, you know, they're mostly like doing like really smart things, like, you know, trying to make it like match like certain, you know, regional color standards and, you know, certain display color profiles and stuff like that like I can't even quite wrap my head around. And I'm just like, what if I took these numbers and doubled them?
Yeah, well, that's because you wanted it to just like look good with scan lines without having these.
Yeah, so like the thing. So there's like this array of numbers that it's like this like I don't even know what to technically call it. It's like this like it's like a 3D almost like table or something that's like, because it's like got like X, Y, and Z values, I think, like, yeah, for like define like making some sort of color transformation. Like I don't even understand it. And like like these other people, like they know how to like program this, or maybe just even write it in a text file. Like you look at these text files and like people they just laugh at it. And so like I just like looked at the numbers that were in there by default, like the numbers that are just like what it normally is. And those numbers, like they aren't all just like start at 1, start at 0. You know, they're like 0.2753 something, you know, or like 2.45692, you know, something really stupid. And I mean, really smart actually, but like I just can't even like wrap my head around like, why is this number this way? And I just like, you know, brought up my calculator, doubled every number, and then like painstakingly raised those numbers until it was exactly double. And for all of them, which took a long time because it's like these really long decimal points. And I'm like, aha! That, like, for the most part, kind of looks like it feels like the right level of brightness. And I showed this in this Discord channel, and like the initial reaction was, you know, that's not actually what that menu is for. That's not what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do with that.
I
And
feel
then,
like they were saying, like, I can't believe it even worked.
well, no, that is the thing. And then like people are like, wait, that actually looks really good. And Mike is just like stunned. He's like, I literally didn't know you could use that way. So it took an idiot. It took an idiot to use it the wrong way to figure out you could do something really cool with it. So I actually used that. I used that setting for some shots, even in this Switch 2 video when I used a little bit of RetroTink stuff. I used that for a couple of shots, and I was like, yeah, this still looks really good. So all you have to do, if you have like the color presets load onto your SD card, like the ones that are like included by default with, like, you know, if you have like the most up-to-date like SD card images, should be in there. Just in the top folder, there's a file just called SDR scanline compensation. Now it might be too bright if you only have like a mask or just a mask or just scan lines. Like you kind of need a mask and scan lines. But and if it does look too bright or too dark, you could actually, I think probably what you could do, now that I think about it, you could probably compensate for that a bit by just like making the mask brighter or darker, which is really easy to do. So yeah, just load that color preset after you've like got your scan lines and mask on how you want it. It's possible like you might clip some white color maybe a little bit if it's not quite right, but yeah, I mean, I guess I could look into whether there's anything there for like a subject, or maybe even like just like a YouTube short or something. I could look into that. That could be a good idea for something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's really easy. You just load that profile. I can't remember if that's like the exact same profile that I made, or if someone like
it's yours.
Kind of cleaned it up a little bit.
Because it has that same name. It has like the scanline compensation.
Yeah, it's just called SDR scanline compensation. I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because like people are like, oh, that's not what that menu's for. But it looks really good, actually. Like Mike like kept saying, like, he's like, I can't, are you serious? That's SDR? Like I actually can't believe, like I can't actually believe it can do that.
Is it, you get 3 continues in this? Is that how it works out?
I don't quite remember.
Or do you get more continues from collecting the happy faces?
I don't. Happy faces.
It's, you know, right? It's so amazing how much more complex and how much more there is to the second game compared to this one. Yeah,
the second game's like, you know, the perfection of the formula, for sure. I mean, I think this one's good though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Oh, it's totally good, but Revenge is like, you know, like one of the best games on the system.
Oh yeah. I was telling Coury before the stream, you know, when I played this, you know, early on in the channel, I was trying to maintain under 100 unfinished games on my backloggery. I was trying really hard, and I like held up with it for like years, and like, but I was like right on the edge, like constantly of hitting 100 unfinished games. I was like, oh, I know as soon as I cross that threshold, there's like no going back. Like it's all over for my backlog, and I was right. I was 100% right, but I tried like for a couple of years there. I was trying so hard, and like every time we were getting ready to go to a convention, I would be like, oh no, I have to like in these like last 2 days before I leave home, I have to like beat like 2 or 3 games. And this was one of those times when I played through Bonk. And I remember just doing it like in an afternoon, like, I don't know, probably took 2 or 3 runs.
Man.
So I don't know if you'll finish tonight, but you've beaten it before anyway.
Yeah, I beat it on
beat
Virtual Console, of all things.
That's right, Korvac. Nothing killed my backloggery like getting into YouTube. It's true, because you start looking at games differently when you're out shopping, because you're like, oh, this is interesting. This game is interesting because of this.
Yeah.
And you're like, this could be useful
on the same note, though, like I feel like as though I've passed that now. Like I think I am too. I don't feel that way anymore.
I agree, but now like there's still a habit to buy stuff. Although I mean both of us have been slowing down. I mean we're like reaching the limit of like what's interesting to us on some of these systems.
Yeah.
You know? So it's definitely been slower going for me, which is fine. You know, I'm not out to buy games just to have them. I'm out to buy games I want to play. You know.
Right.
There was,
and just because the game is also interesting doesn't mean that it's necessarily worth owning anyways.
True. But how are you going to get a B-roll shot of plugging it into the system?
Yeah, well, yeah.
There was a $1 super chat with no comment, but no comment needed, because it just gives me the opportunity to say there was a super chat from Batman Alonzo. I love getting to say Batman Alonzo.
Batman Alonzo. I'm glad that Batman Alonzo saw fit to come back after last week. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people asking, like, what do you mean by it enhanced S video? It's gonna be normal throughout the stream, so I hope that you're prepared to explain it over and over and over again.
Yeah, well, what I'd like to say is look for a video sometime in July on that very subject. But essentially, if you can convert S video, such as through using the SVS, the scalable video switch, if you can convert S video to a VGA style connector and run into the rear port of the Retrode 4K, you can utilize both the RGB and component analog to digital converter, and the composite and S video analog to RGB converter at the same time to get significantly sharper luma, which is what makes the pixels look so crisp here, along with pretty good chroma, making it look essentially like RGB, very close to RGB, not quite. There's little imperfections, but very close to RGB with the accurate PC Engine colors. By the way, is the game stuttering, or is
I think it's just my capture card. I don't know why. It's not stuttering for me. I don't know why that happens. It doesn't do that during capture.
Yeah. Are you sure the scene is set up for 60 FPS?
I'm not gonna mess with it right now. I'm fighting this boss.
No. By the way, I'm sorry to say there is a boss rush in this game.
I know. I remember. I remember, you know, when I thought I was gonna finish it, and I was like, oh, there's a boss rush. But
yep.
I feel like most of the bosses are not that hard.
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying it a lot lately. I feel like there's like never a time where I'm like, oh man, awesome, boss rush.
Yes.
I mean, like as like a separate mode, it can be kind of cool.
Except for when it takes you as long as it took you to beat that Ninja Turtles one? Or is that in the actual game?
That's not a separate mode. That's like
That's
That's
in the
like
game.
required to beat the game. Like requiring you to do a boss rush to beat the game is like essentially always lame. I see T Glory asking, "Is this a Turbo Nanza? I put one in my TurboGrafx 16, but I still use my HD Retrovision cables on my component Toshiba 27-inch tube." Oh, dude, you should. I think you would, if you use S video cables. I think you'll. I think you'll find that like on a tube like that, you're going to be getting essentially the same quality as you do on component, but the colors are going to be more accurate. They're going to look a lot more natural with S video. That's the whole reason behind it. But if you're playing on like a consumer tube, like the difference between S video and component is so small, I think that overall the advantage in color accuracy would be worth it. Assuming you're, I don't know if there's other ways to like hook up the Turbo Nanza. I'm assuming there are, but like the standard of it is using Saturn cables, and Insurrection Industries sells Saturn S video cables, among many others. And that's what I'm using. I assume you're using the same Insurrection Saturn? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you'd be really impressed. Oh. There was a super chat from Joseph Childs making a comment that I saw you hearted on. I'm assuming it's from a different person, or maybe not.
There's a few about my shirt.
There was a few commenting about your REM shirt. Corey's REM shirt in the last video was cool. I work across the street from the restaurant that has "Automatic for the People" as their slogan.
Yeah, Weaver D's, right? So you live in Athens, Georgia, huh? That's cool. That's very cool. I'd never been, but I've always wanted to go. My brother, when he was driving up here a few years back, he did like the whole like tour of like different places from like their albums, like their album covers and stuff. You could go around Athens, Georgia, and see all that stuff. That's very cool. And it's cool. My wife got me that shirt for Christmas.
Oh, neat.
And I mean, REM is my favorite band of all time. So.
I think I will eat some bonus food.
Yeah. Eat some bonus food. Yeah, exactly.
I will eat some bonus food. Let's try out the Buc-ee's triple mixed popcorn. Sandy is intrigued. Caramel kettle cheddar. You're not getting any. I'm sorry. I have a pair of scissors because I was disappointed in my tearing job for my beaver nuggets. So I'm gonna.
This game's so interesting because I would not say that this game controls well.
No, but it's compelling.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would not say that it's like easy to play or plays well, but it still is good nonetheless.
Yeah, like Bonk. Am I crazier? Like Bonk 2 feels a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
Like it's subtle, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't control exactly the same. All right. This smells like exactly like you would expect. It smells like hi Sandy. It's not for Sandy. No, not for Sandy. Smell. Did you ever get those like giant like metal tins of like popcorn around Christmas time?
Yes, yeah, like a metal drum almost.
Yep. And then your mom like puts like other Christmas treats in it for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
like,
it's always those and the most gross Christmas candy is those chocolate oranges.
Oh my gosh, you hate chocolate oranges?
Oh, like I hate them. I hate them.
Oh, I get one every year. I get one every year.
You know, and it's funny because like both my wife like hate them.
Oh man.
And you know, the difference is like, so it's either those or like cordial cherries, which I like cordial cherries. But I do not like chocolate oranges. I feel like chocolate oranges are.
I like cordial cherries, but for one, like they're already like leaking out like half the time, so they're a little messy. And I almost feel like they're like just a hair too sweet. Like it takes a lot for me to say something's too sweet, but I feel like cordial cherries can be a little too sweet. They kind of taste like chemicals in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love chocolate oranges though. Oh man, Korvac's with me. Yes. Corpse 413 is with me. Kendrick is with me. we got some chocolate orange lovers in here. I'm glad I'm not alone. Because like I feel like it's come up with other friends before, and like I don't think they've even tried it. They're just like, ew, what's that? That sounds weird and bad. Like oh man, I freaking love this.
It sounds weird and bad. And you're like, they are.
No, it's amazing. The cheddar ones are good.
Oh, I want that extra light. Oh, I slid out. Fall out.
No, I mean these are good. You know, I mean I so rarely have popcorn like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the caramel's good. I mean, it's all good. Good job, Buc-ee's.
Let's find out that they're open. I think they're opening a Buc-ee's in Dayton, Ohio. So I'll have one like an hour away.
Now, those cheddar ones are really good. Let me try eating a cheddar and a caramel at the same time. The more I eat, the more I want to eat.
You know, it's funny. I saw someone mention that need more like stuff on the 51 games or whatever. The 51, what is it, like the clubhouse games?
Oh, the clubhouse games.
And you know, it's funny because we played that, and you were like immediately like, "Oh, I like this." You're like, "This is pretty fun." It's like a Connect 4, and you're like, "It looks really good too."
It does. like it's just a game I'd never like really given a look. Like it's like I don't know. Like it's you know, I gave my dad my original DS like many years ago. I don't know if he still even uses it. Probably not, because he kind of uses his like Kindle Fire tablet mostly these days. But like you know, back before tablets were much of a thing, when I like upgraded my DS at some point, like probably when I got a DSi, maybe. I mean, I had a DS Lite as well. I don't remember when I gave it to him, but anyway, I gave him Clubhouse games, and like literally all he did on it was play solitaire. Like literally, that's the only thing he played, I think. Maybe some other stuff, but like I would like catch him late at night, just laying down, just playing solitaire on that DS. But
it's fun. It's fun, and there's a ton of games in it.
But anyway, like my mind. My mind was always like, I don't know, it was just like thinking like that DS game. Like, like obviously it's not going to look like a DS game, but in my head, it's like not that much evolved from that,
Right.
Wow, that guy didn't take a lot of hits. Oh wait, never mind. He's back. But yeah, like I mean, granted, I was playing it over a video stream. So I couldn't see like all the detail, but my impression was it's actually a pretty good looking game. And it was pretty neat. I mean, there was like half a second of lag. But that doesn't matter when you're playing checkers and dominoes.
No.
I'm shocked they let you do that with the. I'm shocked they let you do that with the golf game though, because that's pretty unplayable.
Is there
But
an easier way to beat that guy? I just had to tank him.
seemed to work. Man, that popcorn. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still tasting it.
Still tasting it.
I'm more into it than I thought I'd be.
Yeah, it's good. Mine's like long gone.
It's just that like I don't know, like that's just like that always just like seemed like the lamest thing back in the day was like the the Christmas tin of multi-flavored popcorn. Like I don't know why I always thought it was lame, but it just seemed lame. Because it's like what like work gives you, like I don't know, like I assume, like I feel like my dad like got it from work, like it's like this is like what your department boss gives people for Christmas or something. Like I don't know, it always seemed lame to me. So I've like never like sought out that kind of popcorn ever since.
Yeah, now you're gonna.
And now I'm like, oh man, these flavors are pretty good in combination. Corporate popcorn. That's right, Corvette.
Corporate popcorn? Yeah. That's a good way to describe it, I suppose. So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
There was a $5 super chat from Junko. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, at what age did everyone's backlog get so big to perhaps last the rest of your life? Probably like
19.
No, because when I was
for me it was 19. Then I sold a bunch of stuff, and then it just grew from there.
Well, not to last. You've since beaten more games than you owned at 19.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, I beat my backlog.
Yeah.
When I was age 24. And then it was probably beyond hope by the time I was like, I don't know. Like, how old was I when we started the channel? I guess I was 29 when we started the channel.
Really?
Probably, right? Is that right? 29?
Yes.
We started in 2013, so yeah. So, like, probably like 5 years tops after that. So probably like, I don't know, between the age of 33 and 35, I'd say.
And there's no coming back.
Although really, like in the Switch generation, like I feel like, we got kind of crazy with, because the Switch is my biggest collection.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I got an extra heart.
By a decent bit, actually. Followed by PS4. So, like, during, like, PS4 and Switch generation, when, physical releases, like, kind of, as much as physical media, like, feels like it's fading, it's also, like, in a golden era, too, at the same time, right? So many games that wouldn't have gotten physical copies in the early 2000s, like, you can almost count on now. And, there's definitely times when maybe you went a little crazy.
All right, so this level has been pretty short, so let's see if this...
Yeah, so there's more questions about Enhanced S video using the Turbo Nanza.
Yes.
Yes, so Enhanced S video is a feature of the RetroTink 4K. The Turbo Nanza S video which is the color accurate, the sharpest color accurate PC Engine stuff you can do right now. You know, so it's kind of interesting for that reason. And then you can get it really, really sharp by fine-tuning on the Retrode 4K, but you have to hook it up. You have to be able to convert it through something like the SVS to VGA, D-sub, input that into the back of the Retrode 4K, and then you can use Enhanced S Video. Only on the Pro model. You cannot use Enhanced Video on the... That's one of the features that is not possible on the CE. Everything I showed with Retrode 4K in the Switch 2 video, though, was on the CE. Because you can do all them things on the CE. And I marked it as such.
Prime. But Prime!
Yeah, New Van Dybe is saying you can also get Ray-made SVO to D-sub adapters such as the one sold by Greg from Laser Bear. I think that is right. I think Laser Bear is the correct source of those.
Yeah.
But I didn't have one. I didn't have a way to do it until the SVS. So I was very curious about the feature. And like I say, I think the Turbo graphics is just the most interesting use case because it's, you know, because of the whole color situation. It is super interesting, I think. I mean, this looks fantastic on stream. Like,
yeah,
darn near indistinguishable from S video, or excuse me, RGB, like in terms of sharpness and clarity. From, you know, by the time it's like compressed and on the stream, right?
Right, exactly.
Are you playing this looking at your 20L5 or
no? Since I don't have a S video running in my L5, so I'm just playing it the same way you guys are all seeing it. What?
There was a $5 super chat from EB Chill 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, finally got the Switch 2 yesterday. Everyone was happy except the missus. Well, hopefully our video maybe gave you a little primer, a few things to like look into as you were setting it up, like in regards to the, you know, like online licenses and stuff like that. It's kind of confusing now.
Yeah. You know, I've kind of felt like a lot of the information in my segment was pretty general and kind of flat, but I think that some people, like, they learn some stuff that about like the licenses and stuff like that.
Right. Well, I didn't know anything about that either, and you know, I mean, you're so good at being on top of that kind of stuff, and I mean.
How do I get
like
up here?
Day one, I asked you about it. I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to make sure I like can play my digital games like where I need to? Because I don't pay that much attention to it. But that's like, you know, originally this was going to be like one video that was just me, and then the script became too long, and I was going to make it 2 videos. And then you're like, oh, is there anything I can do? I'm like, why don't you take the features and stuff like that, and I'll do the video stuff because that's
up here.
That's what you're so good at, is like really like taking advantage of like features in all kinds of devices. And like me, I'm so much more razor focused on like the video side, and like, you know, some of like the just like system management features and managing files and stuff like that. Sometimes I'm just not as interested in it, but it's still something that I need to know. You know, something I need to utilize. So that's why I'm like, oh, Coury, that's probably the kind of thing Coury already figured out.
I don't know how to get up here.
Can you not just like bite and climb that wall on the right? So is bonking that bush, it like, can you like do like a long jump to the right after you hit it? Are those like windows? Are they doors?
I thought they would be like doors or something like that, but they're not.
You can't, like, you tried pressing up and down. Some games have down as the enter door button.
Right. Oh, I can go in here. Feed yourself with bonus food.
Oh, you did go in there. So BitRoast is saying Mario plus Rabbids is another one jump from 30 lock to 60 FPS without an update. So the reason for that, and I haven't tested it myself, but my understanding is the reason for
Kingdom
that is
Battle or Spark of Hope.
The first one.
Okay. I have those for some reason.
Yeah, me too. Well, I mean, I played like the first 2 worlds of Kingdom Battle, and it was really good, but like I fell off of it for whatever reason. Like not because it was bad, but because like I think I just like got busy with something and then never got back to it. But so anyway, it's got what's called double buffer VSync. And what that means is the game is targeting 60. But what is it? You know, it's you know, like these aren't the exact numbers. It's like 16 point something milliseconds and 32 or 33 point something milliseconds, right? That's the frame time, right? That's how 16 milliseconds is a 16 milliseconds is how quickly frames are updated at 60 FPS. 33 point something milliseconds is how quickly they're updated at 30 FPS, okay? If in a double buffer VSync game, double buffering is used to like kind of have lower input lag, but the downside is if a frame can't be finished in time for 16 milliseconds, it's delayed until the next frame. So effectively, that means a game that can, in theory, run at 60 FPS is running at 30 FPS. And that is why Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom have the frame rate problems they do.
I can't...
Like, if they were just, like, dropping a frame here and there, it would be way more tolerable. But the problem is, if they're going to drop even one frame, it goes all the way down to 30 frames per second for a little while. And the thing with Kingdom Battle is it was double buffered, but unlike Link's Awakening where it would like stabilize at 60, like I don't remember how it looked myself, but my understanding is like either never or like basically never. It just couldn't hit 60 FPS ever. So it didn't have that jumping up and down that Link's Awakening and Tears of the Kingdom have, or Echoes of Wisdom have. So that's why without a patch, it just works at 60. So I'm curious though. You said BitRoast. You said that it's another one that jumped from 30 to 60 without an update. Are there examples of others? That's the only one I've heard about. There was 499 from good old Scott Davis.
Thank you. Dang.
Saying, hey dudes.
What's up, dude?
Traveling through Philadelphia and packed the Switch 2. The Switch OLED feels way better on the go. Switch 2 OLED can't come soon enough. Yeah, but it's probably still going to be the same size. It's weird. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's like the size of it is an issue for me. I should have commented on the size a little bit more.
I like the size. I feel like my impression of the size has my positive feelings about the size were very high day one and like have slowly declined since then. Like the size of the screen feels awesome, I think. Like I really like the size of it. And especially like when I was shooting B-roll and stuff, like it's so funny, like you take the Joy-Cons off of the OLED and you realize how tiny it is. Like it is so small. I mean the Switch 1 as well, obviously, but the OLED is much easier to shoot B-roll in it because it has a functional stand. Bitrose is saying, I thought Monster Hunter Stories 2 was another one. Might be wrong. No, Monster Hunter Stories 2 was always uncapped. Although I think it ran under 30 most of the time, or a lot of the time. But it was absolutely uncapped. Because I remember, like, actually, like, getting, like, I was, like, curious for my own information. So I, actually, like, did some frame rate recordings. And it absolutely could go over 30. But it was often in the 20s and often, just low mid 30s. But yeah, I don't know if it's probably not a perfect 60, but it's close to it. It's a major transformation.
Major.
There were some games that I thought were 30. Or like, because like, I can't, it's very hard to tell by eye, for me at least, it's very hard to tell by eye if the game is stuttering because it's, since there's so much judder due to it not being a smooth frame rate, like the difference between 26 frames per second and 39 frames per second can be really hard to distinguish because it's juddering like crazy either way. For me, it's very difficult to tell by eye. It's not like 39 frames per second is significantly better than 26 frames per second, in my opinion, because it's still just like stutter, right? The overall perception is still poor. So I was actually surprised when I realized that, oh wait, because I was like in the very first Village on Switch 1, I remember like going back there when I beat the game.
Wait, in which game? What game?
Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Oh, okay.
I went back to the very first Village.
Oh.
Like I think you automatically go there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like where your final save ends up being. Like your complete game, you're in the village you started in. I remember just like going up to a wall and being like, wait a second, this looks weirdly smooth. Like I played the whole game not realizing, like the frame rate was like one of the worst. Like that's probably like the worst frame rate game that I like actually like played all the way through on Switch. Like the frame rate was so bad. So that's why I really highlighted it in the video, because I thought it was such a jaw-dropping transformation. I think it's honestly a very attractive looking game. The character models are really nice looking, and the cutscenes are pretty good. I didn't show any cutscenes, but the cutscenes are good. Like the dungeon design is so bad, but like everything else about that game, I think is actually really excellent. And it's still the only Monster Hunter game of any kind I've beat.
It's so bad that you can't help but love it.
It's not bad though. It's good. It's just that the dungeon design is bad. But anyway, yeah. But back to Scott Davis's comment. Like it's so funny. Like obviously I've been I don't play like a ton of handheld, but I certainly play it enough. I use it when I travel, and I play enough Switch 1 over the years, and the past 3 years, I'm actually shocked that I ended up getting like 3 years of use. I mean, not that I'm like not going to play the OLED ever again, because again, yeah, it might be great for travel, and also the screen is better. So it's like if it's a game that isn't going to benefit from the Switch 2 like power boost, you may as well play it on the OLED. If you're going handheld, I gotta say I really like that case though. Like it's not that much bigger, and in some dimensions is smaller than my Switch 1 case. Like I almost kind of want to get like a more compact Switch 1 case now. I think that could be a good move. But yeah, like at first I'm like, man, I love how much larger the screen is. And I like though that it's
What the
like
heck
the
is
same
this little enemy? I think it's just
thickness.
I've seen this tiny little enemy that's almost invisible.
Like a seed pod. But anyway, yeah, like it's so funny. Like after, like even like I haven't even played Switch 2 like actively played it handled that much. Like I did several like Mario Kart GPs handheld and like played like 40 minutes of Cyberpunk handheld. But like otherwise, like all my handheld usage has been like testing stuff mostly. But like I still like did that enough that like I got used to it. And then you pick up the OLED and it's like shocking how small it is in comparison. Like, you know, like I don't know, it's weird because like I feel like I used to get that when I was a kid, where it's like if I didn't use something for a little bit, like I'm like, oh wow, like this feels weird, or it's like smaller than I remember, or something. Like I remember one time, like you know, I didn't get grounded much as a kid, but I remember being grounded for one reason.
What'd you get grounded for?
I can't remember. I cannot remember. Like I don't know. I probably like
dropping an F-bomb in front of your parents.
Huh?
Dropping an F-bomb in front of your parents.
I don't know.
It sends me all the way back here. I kind of want to just like play something else. Would people be too upset if I moved on from Bonk and played other
PC Engine
games on the system?
Yeah. Hopefully pick a low res game if you can.
I don't know. I mean, I have both those profiles there. I can always try the other ones too if I.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you probably wouldn't have to adapt it too much. Have you ever played Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu?
I'm just like playing
your carts.
Yeah, I mean, I can get my EverDrive out.
No, you know, go pick a cart. Go pick a cart.
All right,
go pick a cart. Anyway, I don't remember what I got grounded for. Like I only remember that ever happening like twice, and I couldn't tell you what it was for. It's probably related to schoolwork. I was always like really slow at getting my homework done. Like I was a good student, you know. I aside from high school math, I made really good grades. I made all A's in college math, funny enough. My high school math teachers were not the best. they weren't able to get down to my level. They were too smart. They were too smart. But anyway, I don't know. It was probably because I was always so slow getting my homework done. So I don't know. That's my best guess. It had something to do with schoolwork or something. Anyway, because I could not tell you what it was. Anyway, like the first time I remember, and I just thought this was so funny. I think I may have told this story before. I feel like I told this story. I told this story on a video that I think I like did a guest segment on or something. Where I was grounded. They're like, my parents are like, well, you can't play Nintendo for a week. And I'm like, well, can I play Game Boy? They're like, yeah, sure. I'm like, to this day, I wonder, like, what was the distinction in their head?
Thank you.
It's like how, what? Like, it's just hilarious, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, the reason I started telling the story was I remember, you know, maybe it wasn't even being grounded. Maybe it was just like, you're too distracted by these video games right now, and you like have to focus on getting your work done. Like you got a big book report you have to turn in by Friday or something. Maybe that was it. I don't know. It might have not even been being grounded. I couldn't tell. I don't remember. But I remember, like, I couldn't play for a week. I mean, it could have even been like 2 weeks. I don't know. But like, just like after that, like this was during the N64 era.
The enemy.
And I remember just like being away from it for that long. When I like picked it back up again, it's like, wow, this, I mean, people are going to laugh because it's the N64, but I'm like, this controller feels weird. You know?
And
like, it was, but like, even like Super Nintendo controllers, like, oh, this is weird. But like, I feel that way, like, when I was a kid, like, if I didn't use a system for a long time, and then like came back to it, it's like, oh, this is weird. Like, I remember when I bought my PS1, like I bought like a refurbished PS1 at Funko Land, and it's never been serviced to this day. So that refurb PS1 really darn good.
Is this a low res game?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it looks low res.
If you don't see shimmer, then it's correct.
Yeah.
So anyway, like, yeah, like I feel like when I was a kid, like so when I bought my PS1, I traded in some games, and you know, I had the Game Boy Color by then, and so I was like, well, you know, I'm not going to use my Game Boy Pocket anymore. So I got out my Game Boy Pocket to trade it, you know, and me being a good kid, you know, not wanting to like sell something that, you know, what if it was broken? Like, you know, yeah. I'm being an honest citizen here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I should test this and make sure it works before I try to sell it. And I turned it on, and I'm like, just shocked by the blur. Like, I'm like, is this thing broken? I mean, let me tell you, people talking about Switch 2 blur, and people are like, oh, the Game Boy Pocket has so much better motion clarity than the original Game Boy. Not really. Not to an extent to really matter. It may have seemed like it at the time.
I just want to say that I love the fact that she goes from shooting energy out of her sword to shooting missiles.
Like firing missiles from a sword, right?
Yeah. This is what we're doing. I always thought it'd just be like energy, like an energy wave or something like that. And now we're shooting missiles. Where's that power go, you know?
Orbital Hub says, try a picture of your mom like the nanny from Muppet Babies. You only see her striped socks and we're all in the game room. What would the MLiG, what would the baby version of MLiG be called? My diapers and gaming?
My diapers, yeah. In my diapers while gaming.
But anyway, so yeah, I mean that was you know, but again, like, and also like it's bigger than the Game Boy Color. Like, I didn't really think at the time, like when I got the Game Boy Color, I wasn't like, oh, this is smaller than a Game Boy Pocket. The screen is considerably smaller. Like, I didn't really think about it at the time, but then going back to it, it's like, whoa, this is different. Like, so I feel like I had those reactions as a kid, but now that I'm an adult, you know, like, you know, I go weeks without playing the N64. Months, sometimes. But, like, picking up an N64 controller never feels strange to me anymore. Or any other system. Like I'm not like, man, I haven't like used this controller in a while. Like, it feels like it's like riding a bicycle, except I used to be able to ride a bicycle, and I bet you I can't anymore.
I bet you could. I bet you could. I think it's no. Like, it's like it seems like you wouldn't be able to, but literally it is the you like the saying is true. You never forget it. Like, even if you don't if you haven't done it in like decades. Like you could get on and like it'd probably take you less than 2 minutes to.
Well, I mean, I had a falling out with bikes.
I understand that, but I mean that doesn't mean you forgot how to do it. You'd be able to do it.
I had a literal falling out.
I understand. I understand, but you would be able to get back on and be able to do it.
I was like, I am done with this garbage. I do not want to be on a bike again.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know if I talked about it. Like I'm like my son is like super close, and he went to his grandparents 2 weeks ago, and then he had camp all this week, so we haven't been able to lock it in. But it's happening this week. And you know, like it's such a weird thing because explain like you know trying to get him to do it. It's like the idea of like not knowing how to do it just seems crazy to me. Like I can't remember what it's like to not know how to do it. So it makes it hard for me to explain it or know how he is feeling. You know,
Right.
Like it's just one of those things. Like like if you got on one, you'd be like, oh, this is where I need to be.
This is where I need to be.
Yeah, like your body just does it.
Yeah.
It's just.
I mean, the idea of getting on a bike feels kind of scary. I ain't gonna lie. Like I feel like I'm not quite.
Well, maybe next time you're here, we'll take you down to the parking lot.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh.
Maybe we
First
can.
thing
You know what? You know what? Maybe what we could do, we can get you on the balance bike. It's just a bike without pedals on it, and you just kind of roll around. We'll get on you know, like we have a little white and pink balance bike you can get on.
I had a very poor experience the last time I rode a bike. Is all I'll say.
No, I think that even
No broken bones or
even
nothing,
if
but
that, like I think that you'd be able to just be like,
bad
oh, and you know, like I hadn't ridden my bike in in 2 years probably, but when my son was since he's so close, I got my bike back out, and immediately I'm like, oh man, this is like it just feels like what I want to do. It just like I should be doing this more. Oh now we're in a regular outfit here. Is it pretty easy? This second one.
It is. The last level or two is pretty hard, but like almost everything up before then is surprisingly easy. The final boss is probably like difficult, but probably easier than the final boss in any other Valis game. Because final bosses tend to be quite difficult. But yeah, this is the easiest one by some margin, I would say. No, Retro Morgan, I never did beat Super Valis 4. I was so close. Although I think that had passwords, right? But unfortunately, like the last password is kind of... It's difficult to use because you can't really fully power up before like there's like I think there's a boss rush and then the final boss and you cannot fully power up, so really you almost need to do like the last whole level, which is to really get powered up, if I recall correctly. Oh, and it was probably actually you, Retro Morgan, that was like kind of explaining some of that to me, if I recall, now that I think about it. Because, yeah, I think you had, like, just beaten it around the time I was streaming it. That sounds familiar now. Yeah, I have to go back. And, of course, like, I think it would be very difficult to go back to that without... Like, I would need a running start. Like, I mean, it'd make...
We got the missiles back.
Restart.
Oh, they're heat-seeking missiles now.
Ho ho. But anyway,
I got missiles on coming out of my sword, Gary.
Anyway, all these like roundabout storytelling is all to say, picking up controllers or looking at systems that I haven't looked at recently, like as an adult, like I'm just used to it. Like it never is like, oh, I forgot what this looked like. This is bigger than I remember. This is smaller than I remember. This doesn't feel like I remember. But yet, like after just a few days of using the Switch 2, like I pick up the OLED and I'm like, holy cow, this thing is small.
Yeah. I'm like, it's small, and I immediately like it more. It's smaller size.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll admit that smaller size is nice. I don't think the Switch 2 is like uncomfortable to hold, but there is like, it does feel like kind of luxurious to pick up the OLED. Like I think the materials and everything of the Switch 2 feel really good. But like something about like I don't actually know what the material is that like the OLED is made out of. In the back of your the back of mine has like some like circular patterns from Tears of the Kingdom on. Like I don't really remember what the like regular OLED feels like, but it's like It's like cool to the touch, right? Like is the regular OLED like cool to the touch? Like when you just like pick it up, it's just like the back of it.
Yeah, well, I feel like the 2 is like always warm.
Well, yeah, especially when you get out of the dock. It's actually,
I know. Like it just makes me wonder like how long that's gonna last, because I feel like it's even hot in there when it's not even like being used. I mean, I've taken mine out when it hasn't even been, like
funny
I've
thing
been
is
playing
like
it, and it's still like warm as if it was being played, but it wasn't.
Well, even playing something like very basic like Welcome Tour,
Shadow Panther, Panther Gillian is coming here.
Is coming here.
Oh shoot! A strong warrior Shadow Panther Gillian is coming here.
But anyway, Welcome Tour, like not a game that you would think would be super intense, but like it does require you sometimes to like, oh, this mini game or this demo, you have to play it handheld. You have to play it dock. You have to play it with the Joy-Con. So you're like moving it between various configurations. Like if I had to like take it out of the dock, like I don't notice it when I'm like sitting back on my couch, but like it's like, oh man, the fan is really going, and it's like a little warm. It's just Welcome Tour. I think that's a large part of the reason for the fan in the dock, because like I don't think it can significantly help with like active cooling because it's like not blowing on metal, right? But I think what it does is it helps make the Switch itself not feel like hot to the touch when you take it out of the dock, and also I think it helps just like bring more airflow for the Switch to take into to push through.
Make your own choice. Fight or join my army. You wish to die?
Psychic says, I started docking my Switch 1 horizontally after seeing Sakurai do it in a video. I assume you could do that with Switch 2. Oh yeah, he lets the dock just lay down.
Oh jeez, he cut him right down the middle. Split him right in half.
You had quite a look of surprise on you.
I was doing what she was doing, and she was like, his voice, his mouth's not even moving.
He's like maybe speaking to you.
What an interesting positioning of this little like FMV window, though, the cutscene window. It's like in like the lower like half of the screen.
Who knows? Anyway, yeah, I forgot about Sakurai doing that. That's an interesting idea. But the back of the Switch 2 is like curved. It would probably still work because I think enough of it is probably flat. But the door cover on the Switch 2 is terrible. I guess that's like the only like particularly like bad feeling thing about like the build quality is like the door that like covers the wires is like really hard to tell like when it's like snapped in place. The original launch dock, the LCD dock is it's like a pretty cheap, crappy feeling thing, but the cover being on the hinge was the best. On the OLED, it's like removable, but it's still easy to put back in place. The design on the Switch 2 cover just feels real wrong. Oh yeah, that could possibly make the fan not get as much airflow. However, the bottom of the, I learned this from Welcome Tour, the bottom of the dock has little tiny feet and a bunch of holes in the bottom. And, so those feet raise it up off the bottom just enough to bring a little airflow in from underneath. So,
I love those statues. They start walking one way and they don't stop going that way. They don't turn around and come back after you. Like, imagine that, like waiting for this moment forever.
And you're just like,
decision.
And this is what
you're
happens.
like, I'm not going to screw it up. I'm not going to screw it up. I'm not going to screw it up.
Like living your entire life, like waiting for this moment.
And then, and then you
blow up.
Just like, oh crap, I'm walking the wrong way. I'm walking the wrong way. And you're just like, you freeze up and you're just like,
getting hit from behind.
You're just like, oh, I don't know what to do. There was a notification that Enchilada has been a member for 20 months in a row. Zeroing in on 1 year. Thank you. Saying 20 months and climbing. Are you feeling the bonk tonight? You were feeling it for a while.
Yeah. And it's time to move on a little bit.
Yeah. I'll play a little Valis too.
Yeah.
Thanks for the Switch 2 video. It was super handy for things. Have fun, folks. We shall. Oh, speaking of Welcome Tour, I 100%ed it today.
You had to get the camera to do it, right?
Well, I mean, I could have used another camera.
Go spend the money and get the camera to do it.
Like it's kind of stupid, right? Like I won't deny that. Like deciding to get the camera was probably like
partially motivated by
wanting to get all the medals in the one mini game that requires the camera. And Welcome Tour. But like seriously, like it's like game chat is surprisingly fun. Like, I think most people were like, oh, that's unnecessary. I don't need that. But like the way they've integrated, like it's so easy. It's very convenient. The microphone quality is good. You don't have to be near your mic. It like does such great noise reduction. Like it's actually just a very convenient and easy way to, do a little gaming with people. Like we've even used it on the Backloggery streams and we did on the Twitch stream as well. Here for MLiG on launch day. We just used it when we play Mario Kart. Like we just use
it's
game
convenient.
chat.
When you're not
good enough, it's convenient, and it's surprisingly good. And the way that it's integrated in Mario Kart is actually really fun if you use the camera because you can see your friends' faces above their character, and then like when they get hit, then their like face spins around and stuff. It kind of makes you want to hit them even more. So it's almost to your disadvantage maybe to have the camera on, but it's fun. It's fun, and it kind of made me think like, they'll probably actually like integrate the camera in some pretty fun ways, I bet, like throughout the generation. So it feels like it's worth it. You know, I had $10 of Best Buy certificates.
It just like walks through like the incline there. Like that's cheap. It just like doesn't get stopped by the wall or the step that's there because I can't walk up the steps.
But anyway, yeah, I was like, oh, this is actually, the camera is actually fun. I kind of feel a little left out. And you know, I just decided to get the official one because like I think it looks pretty nice. And
see, I don't like how it looks.
You know, kind of what. I mean, it's really sturdy. Like it's got a weighted base. Like it's, you know, it might look like it's like really flimsy, but it's got a weighted base, so it feels sturdy. I think it looks pretty good. And again, you know, welcome to our, yeah. This, you know, it's advertising. To be advertised to, I had to spend $10. You know, it taught me that like, oh, like the camera is designed so that it's like on this stand, so that if you wanted to put it directly behind the Switch 2, like it could still like see you.
Interesting.
I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, that's actually pretty good little design thought there.
Yeah.
You know, it would be a little harder to like, you know, come up with a position to set just like a regular webcam and like make it look good and be in the right place and not be annoying. I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't have another webcam on hand that was working with it, so I just bought it. I mean, it was $45.
Yeah.
With that $10. So I was like, oh.
It's 45 after the.
It's 55.
Okay.
After the certificate. I talked myself in. I went and picked that up at Best Buy. There's actually a slightly more expensive camera.
Is that the one that looks like the Piranha Plant?
No, not the Piranha. I think the Piranha Plant is cheaper, actually.
I bet you like the camera I'm using with mine is a lot more expensive.
Well, yeah. But your aspect ratio was all weird when you did that too. And also, I'm assuming you're not just going to be like set up to do that.
Right.
Like,
oh yeah.
Right? Like if you want to use Game Chat, like you
I wonder if I could like run other systems through there.
Well, that's what I wanted to do. I've got this Genki like HDMI to USB-C thing, and that's like one of the first things I wanted to try. Like I was like, oh, can I like stream PS5?
I bet that like with the one I have, I bet I can do that.
Can I stream my TurboGrafx 16? You know, like I just thought that would be funny. I couldn't. My dongle did not do it. But yeah, the Piranha Plant camera is only 480p, so it's not really worth getting. It would be like probably unusable in my setup because, like, as it is, like, you know, I'm like 8 feet from the TV. Like the Switch 2 is probably like 9 feet, and like I'm pretty tiny in the full frame as it is. So 480p, like, you couldn't even tell it's me.
Yeah.
You are very strong.
Yeah, a lot of people loved Coury's faces on that segment. Like you were probably just like trying to like draw it out so you didn't have to like change to another clip.
Right.
I mean, you got that last segment edited so fast. I was impressed. But no, there's another camera. I forget if it was also by Coury. But it's like kind of boxy, but it's like 10. I think it's like $10 more expensive than the official camera. But I think it's got. I think the main thing is so It might have a microphone in it, which seems unnecessary because the one system is fine. I forget it. I think the main thing about it, though. Wait, do I seriously have another Best Buy reward, or is
maybe you forgot
it says
to use it.
Your mystery reward is $10. Oh, so I think I like signed up at like a year or so ago for like the Best Buy member thing because it was like cheap enough. I'm like, well, let's see if I get enough special deals throughout the year to make this work. I don't think it was actually really
she's
worth
all powered up now. But
now it looks like I've got another $10 for some reason. And I forgot to unsubscribe from it, so I've got like again this year. But I don't think they've ever just given me a random $10. Now I'm going to have to find something else to buy. But anyway, the other one, it might be another one from Hori, or maybe it's from Power A or someone. Let me see. Oh, okay, so it's a different one from Hori. Okay, it's $5 more than the official one. And it's like kind of a box. It's like almost the same box. It's like almost like the Piranha Plant type, except it like doesn't have like the lip at the end and it's black. But then there's like this boxy camera on top of it.
I can appreciate the background here, like the setting sun over the water.
The Atari,
but the setting sun over the water here. You know that somebody at some point said like, this is the best graphics I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Oh, someone in the world at some point. Sure. I was impressed. I was impressed with this scene when I got there. Like 5 years ago or whenever I got this.
How many X are in there in this? I mean, is it a pretty short game?
It's not that long. You know, I'm
already inside like the flesh. I mean, fighting like Mecha Godzilla here.
I got this far when I just like booted the game up like the day I got it. You know, I got this from Paul Sutton.
Oh, okay.
He just like tossed it in because is it
a Japanese one?
No, it's American. It had no manual.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So he's like, well, I can't really sell this. So he just like sent it to me with some other stuff we bought.
Yeah. So you got the here, so I guess there's a lot more.
I got the here just like the day he said. I'm like, oh, I want to try this out. And I got the here just like with like no effort, right? Because it's been pretty easy so far.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, well, I've played enough for today. I'll play through.
And then you realized it was like the last level.
No, it's not the last level, but I beat this on the Mr. Marathon.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. TurboGrafx CD guide. What act is this?
4.
Volcano? 4, Volcano. Okay. There's like, after this, there's one more full level. And then there's like a short level that leads up to the final bosses. That's the part I remember being fairly challenging. But once I kind of figured it out, like it was not too bad.
And it looks like I can. It has like a.
I mean, you can stand
how far you get.
You stand a decent chance of beating this, I'd say. But anyway, the other Hori camera.
I might just go until I get a game over or something.
Yeah,
like that.
well, yeah, that's true. And the game does save. Like
yeah, exactly.
So you can continue.
Yeah.
Let's see what is specifications. What's the?
So I want to know if anybody in the chat is playing Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing.
Oh, I know.
Not yet. I want to beat Cyberpunk before I get into that. This listing doesn't actually say what the resolution of this other camera is, but it's $5 more expensive. But the main feature The main feature of this other Hori camera is that you can detach it from the base, and it's got like a little USB-C stick on it. So like you can like put it, like you can just like, it's small and it like fits on, like you can put it in the top USB port on Switch, so you can use it in handheld mode. That's the selling point of the other Hori camera. But they had a bunch of Switch 2 accessories there at Best Buy. It was the first time I had gone into a store that sells video games since the Switch 2 launch. So I was looking around. At first I was like, oh man, they like basically got rid of the Switch section.
Oh, really?
Because like there was like, well, at first, that's what I thought first, because where the Switch games normally were, they only had Switch 2 games, and only not that many. But my Best Buy is like, it's like a smaller, it's a smaller Best Buy, and it's a little crappy. It's not a very good Best Buy, to be honest. But I enjoy picking stuff up there. But like for actually browsing stuff, it's not very good Best Buy. But, you can just pre-order something, or we got something in stock. I rarely browse, but I wanted to browse today because I just want to see what the Switch 2 section was like.
Yeah.
And yeah, they only had like 2 rows of Switch 2 games where the Switch games used to be, and then like on the end cap, they had like the 3 not Origami King. They had 3 of the 4 Mario RPGs for Switch 2. They had Mario and Luigi Brothership, Mario RPG, and Thousand Year Door. Like, just those 3 games were on the end cap. And I'm like, are these literally the only 3 Switch 1 games they have? And then I saw that they had actually added a new section. Like, they had most of the Switch 1 games. Like, my Best Buy has had barely any Xbox and PS5 games for a long time. Like, they stock hardly any. Like, at least on the shelves. I mean, but you can pick up pre-orders there, no problem. Yeah, mostly Switch, and not a tremendously great Switch section at that. But yeah, at least they added a section rather than taking away. That's something. But they had a lot of accessories, a lot of Switch 2 accessories.
Jeez, like it's just like throwing all these dudes at me. These flaming people.
Your Best Buy is significantly better than any Best Buy in my area, at least the ones I've been to. Like it was like similar to, but definitely nicer than the best Best Buy I've been to in Charlotte. And it was just in Florence, of all places.
I see some people were saying there. I'm not going to spoil anything about Death Stranding. I just want to mention it because I see some other people are playing it as well. I don't know. It just got me kind of feeling like nostalgic about like an era of games where I don't know. Like it's just I think a lot of people tend to think like, oh, Kojima's games are just weird and they're just like all cut scenes and stuff. But it just like there's a ton. I said this to you yesterday. There's a ton of gameplay in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Kojima is,
and like I think that Kojima is Kojima the only kind of like name game director like that still is like a draw.
I mean, I'd say Hideki Kamiya still is, but not to the same
to an
scale.
extent, yes. But I think that like Kojima like has like a wider appeal, or
right?
Like
and also, the games Kojima is associated with, like, he almost never like relinquishes control. I'd say Sakurai is also a draw.
Yeah.
Even though he mostly just does Smash, but like, you know, when they did the Kirby Air Riders announcement, they were like very specifically like put on the directed by Masahiro Sakurai, you know?
Right.
But yeah, like he's probably like the most involved director, like from the old days, you know? It's like a name.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, like you know, I think people who maybe haven't played that many Kojima games or like played one and are like, oh, this is not for me. Like they think that it's just cutscenes, or people have forgotten what Kojima games are like and they think they're just cutscenes. But really, like he's got like you know, especially when you think back to some of the stuff like where, you know, the whole, even though this is maybe not the best example, but just when you think of weird things like, you know, how if you like save during the fight with the end,
yeah,
and come back a week later, he's dead.
Yeah.
Like no one else really uses just like weird like system level features like that to like do something unexpected.
Well, that was one of the things I was looking forward to. I was like, oh, I bet she's gonna like make use of the DualSense really well.
Yeah. Did he?
I mean, no different than anything else so far.
But
there's always like little quirks. There's like lots of like fourth wall breaking quirks to his games, which I think are always fun. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I feel like it just really made me like miss that kind of thing in games. Yeah. I guess like I don't know. It feels like so like rare now for like for a game to just feel like, oh, this was made by this specific person, and I can tell. Right.
And Leo says, I say Metal Gear's dead franchise without Kojima. I say it was dead franchise with at the end of 4. You know, say what you will about 4
well,
itself.
It's kind of interesting with Death Stranding too, is it feels like it takes some of the aspects of 5 and
interesting.
And I don't know, it streamlines a whole bunch, but it just I feel like a lot more into it than even I did with the first one, because I like the first one, but it was kind of like there was some growing pains there, and now you're kind of going into this knowing. What's that?
You weren't feeling it at first.
I was in what?
You weren't feeling it for a while with the original.
You mean just like?
It took you like you were like, I don't know about this. I'm not really enjoying it. But then you did eventually.
Yeah. Once you kind of get it, like once you understand what you're doing, and I guess with the second one, you're going into it knowing what you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
But it also feels like I don't know, like it feels like a lot easier to. I mean, it's weird, but it feels a lot easier to understand.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm
gonna find a different game.
But yeah, I mean, say what you will about Metal Gear Solid 4. Like, I feel like it's always tough to end a story like that. You know, it's always tough to stick the landing. And I don't hate the story for Metal Gear Solid 4. You know, I feel like the gameplay was a step back from 3, but you know, he had a lot to wrap up, and I think he wrapped it up. You know? And I think 5 was just completely unnecessary. And I didn't like the story. I didn't like not having David Hayter. Like, not having David Hayter, like, took so much away from that game. It just... Kiefer Sutherland sucked as Big Boss. He just did. But I just... The story for 5 did nothing for me.
Yeah, and There's a
just
lot of
felt like
gameplay in there. I mean, that's like
yeah,
really
the
what
gameplay
was.
it was good, but like I hated having to go back to the base, get in the helicopter,
Right.
wait through all that. I mean, maybe you could skip some of it, but you still had to wait for the load times. Like there
Oh,
was
is
just
this a
many.
high res game? Because it looks like it's like a lot of the score is being cut off here.
Well, I would say it may be. Can you pause it and load the high res profile?
Sure.
It's hard to tell since it doesn't have horizontal scrolling, you know. I was going to buy this game at Midwest Gaming Classic because I was trying to. I knew the guy had a loose copy of it, and I like to buy loose. I buy loose PC Engine games. Huh?
It's still cut off.
Oh, and now that I'm seeing how it's scaled, this doesn't look right.
Yeah. But it's still
go back to the low res pro.
Yeah.
Well, I think what it is it's just using more vertical lines than the other games were. Or I'm probably zoomed in 5x. Go into the scalar menu. Go into the scalar menu and scale it down. Because I probably had it at 5x. Because it was fine for the games I was testing on. This game might need 4.5x. And the interpolation settings should already be good to... go into the first one. There it goes. Or not 5x, 10x. Make it 9x. See if 9x or 9.5 does it.
Yeah, 9.5 will do it.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be an integer. You can make it bigger if you want. The scaling will look fine either way.
Oops. But I'm really liking Death Stranding. It just like immediately clicked in for me, and
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Does it have like an option like in the game itself to get like a Death Stranding 1 summary?
Oh yeah, and it still makes no sense.
Is it better than the summary you watched on YouTube, or is it the same one? Because you said
I thought it was going to be the same one, but no, it's different.
Is it better than the one you watched?
It's just like, and it's just still pictures.
Oh. But is it like voiced or?
Yes, by Dead Man.
Oh. Wait, Dead Man.
Dead Man is the Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, that guy. Remember Die Hard Man?
Yeah. I mean, he became president at the end of the first one.
What a weird name.
Yeah, and Heartman.
Yeah, I remember Heartman.
And they're all like bosses, like Mega Man bosses, essentially.
Yeah, this is such a weird naming scheme. I mean, D Hardman would, I guess, would be kind of like German, but they call him out loud Die Hard Man.
But yeah, it's just really hitting the right notes with me.
Well,
And I wish I wish I remembered so much from the first one, but surprisingly little. And I'm glad that there was the recap, so I can kind of figure it out, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's not super necessary. I think that they explain a lot of it just during discussions.
Yeah.
Like, oh, remember this happened, type thing.
I mean, I'm still so surprised it got a sequel.
Yeah, and I don't know if I said this on stream or but I've said it to you that it just kind of felt weird that it even exists and came out already now.
Yeah, I mean it was such a divisive game. It's a concept that just does not.
Yeah, but I think
it doesn't make it. It's not an easy pitch. Like what you do in this game doesn't sound fun, and a lot of people are going to try it and think, yeah, that's not fun. But I think it's compelling, and
and it's made more compelling because you have, like the Kojima storytelling to go along with it.
Yes, and
I don't think anybody else could make a game that tries to do what it does
and get away with it.
Yeah,
and get the budget for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Naughty Dog probably pretty much has a blank check. But.
Right.
But they also make games that are more, the core gameplay is more marketable.
Yeah.
Than Kojima's. But I remember reading Kojima was like.
But I would say that there's a lot more gameplay here. There's just a lot more stuff to consider and to think about and.
Right.
It's just I don't know. It's just totally unique, and it is pretty amazing that the first one existed, and it's even more amazing that that a sequel exists to that game.
Yeah. I saw a quote from Kojima a couple months ago where he was like, "Oh, I was kind of disappointed that Death Stranding 2 was testing better with play testers than Death Stranding 1 because I'm not here to make mass marketable products."
Right.
He just wants to do what he wants to do. And if you want to come along for the ride, fine. If not, whatever.
Yeah.
He don't care. As long as he gets money to do his next project, he don't care.
Yeah.
Sam Jurga is asking, does SVO have the composite filter? Do you mean the composite palette? Yes. That's the whole point. It's a sharper version of composite colors from original hardware, which is something that you can't do with RGB. Not currently, at least. Which is why this is such a cool mod.
See if I can get the dual ship here. There we go. That's what I wanted. I played Bonk and Valis too so far. I mean, it's just I'm just going over to the shelf and picking stuff off of it. I'm not playing off an EverDrive or anything like that. And I very easily could do that. I just thought it'd be fun to play these games and play them like this. Get in that habit because people are talking about I think in our Discord we're recently talking about how the Switch games apparently you got to turn them on every. Is it 5 to 10 years or something, or is it more than that, or is it 20 years or something? I mean,
it's a guideline. I think if you didn't do that, chances are most of them would probably still be fine 20 years. But
20 years, yeah. I'm just not gonna worry about it.
It's good. It's advisable due to. I mean, people have people have talked about this kind of stuff before. People were very concerned about Vita cartridges because I think like flash memory was just like really poor quality in general during the Vita era, and that's why there's so many problems with the memory cards, but also the games, because they're not mass ROMs. Now you don't need to worry about your PC Engine games though; they're mass ROMs.
Right.
Mass ROMs will not. Nothing will happen to them unless like the physical structure of it decays. Like that's going to be centuries beyond our lifetime. You don't need to worry about mass ROMs. They are built to be the game or other data that they are, right?
Right.
But no one makes mass ROMs like above like a very small size.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like less than a gig.
This is what I love is that it has a pretty good plot twist in this, where it plays like normal Galaga.
Oh, I didn't know
and then it
about
turns into
this.
like a scrolling shooter, and then with levels, and then you fight them, and then it continues on. It's a pretty good plot twist.
What were we talking about before talking about the Galaga plot twist?
The Switch games going bad if they're not played.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just that they are flash memory,
right?
Which requires
they got to get re-energized.
Some kind of electrical charge to keep them alive, and so it's advisable. I don't think people need to be seriously worried about it, but it's you aren't gonna want to leave your Switch game sealed forever or anything like that. If you want to ensure that they work, like it's not a bad idea.
But I mean, it just makes you think, though. Like people that like those sealed collectors out there. It's like sentencing your games to death to be eventually be worthless.
I'm pretty sure I put all my Vita games in like around the time that I did like my PSTV soft mod, so I probably don't.
Right.
I mean, not that I have a lot of Vita games to go through. Really.
How often do those have to be? 20 years?
Oh, I don't know.
You have to power them at least once every 150 years.
No, I don't know. Like, no one really knows. Artemio said no one knows how long anything's going to last. He said, we can do artificial aging in laboratories, but that can give us a guess, but it's not really going to be accurate. Like you can't advance time to artificially age things. Like you can do all these other conditions and stuff, but you don't know. You just don't know. So anyway, people will say like, oh, you need to do this with 3DS games, with Vita games, with Switch games. People don't talk about DS games, though. I don't know if DS games are mask ROM or flash ROM. I don't know. But like GBA and everything before, you don't got to worry about it. The mask ROMs. Mask ROMs are never going to have to worry about them. Not us. Centuries from now, probably.
I bet nobody can guess what I've just put in.
Is it JJ and Jeff? It's JJ and Jeff.
No, it's a CD game. You are not prepared for what I put in.
Do I even know what it is? Am I going?
No.
Like, is something I don't even know exists? I'm waiting for it. Oh man, here we go. Jack Nicklaus.
Nicklaus, yeah. Nicklaus.
Nicklaus. Did playing that little bit of Switch
yeah.
Switch the Clubhouse Games Golf get you in the mood?
Yes.
Jack Nicklaus Turbo Golf.
What should I? Oh, I just.
Let's
play around.
Have you played much of this one?
No. Oh, look at how good the graphics are on his face, though. His digitized face.
I'm waiting to see it. Oh, that's pretty good.
What was the Japanese Saturn? What was it called?
Yeah. You sent it to me the other day. The Japanese version of
the Pebble Beach or whatever.
The Statler game.
Yeah.
Whatever the guy's name is. I'm scrolling up our conversation. You posted it like directly to me, right? Here we go. Pebble Beach golf links. Stadler Nichosen. I don't even know what chosen means.
The sampling looks like off on this one, but I don't know if that's just how the game looks.
Let me look up
Satan's counterattack.
Let's see, yeah. Craig Stadler's counterattack.
Stadler's counterattack.
Oh man, I don't. What's the American name of the game?
I don't know. There's $5 from Buds2355. Thank you. Saying, Coury came here to say my daughter turned 13 at the end of March, and what you said in your podcast with Chris is true. I'm experiencing the same. Yep. I don't know if it. Oh, geez. I don't know if it gets better, but there's moments. There's moments. I had a breakthrough moment where when I had to go up to Akron and I had to pick up my kids from their grandparents and take them to their aunt's house. So it's just like 2.5 hours in the car. And my daughter was riding up front with me. And we just like started listening to music. And then it was like
this looks like a high res game. Look at look at how like the dithering is like really weird.
I know, it's just like it's hard for it to. But
well, no, you need to switch to the high res profile.
Oh, okay.
I think that's probably it. So now his graphics are going to look even.
Oh, there
better.
we go. Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't get easier, at least so far. But there's moments. There's moments, and I mean, we just like got talking about music, and it was good. I mean, I don't know what it was. I have like a playlist of like songs that I can just put on. It's like all my starred favorite songs, like on my Apple Music. And something came up, and it's just like songs that I like. And it was like, what is it? It came up. It was "Genius of Love" by Tom Tom Club came up, and we got to talking like, oh, this song was sampled in so many different things. So I switched over and played something else, and like something it was sampled in, right? Which was like Mariah Carey's Fantasy. And she's like, oh my God, I love this song. And she like knew all the words to it. I'm like,
you had no idea.
He had no idea. And I'm like, oh, if you like this, I mean, do you like Return of the Mac?
Oh, but look, this scene with
it goes back and forth, it looks like.
It goes back and forth. So this is a game where you would really want a switching profile, but I was having trouble.
Yeah.
But maybe I can figure it out.
Yeah. So it was just kind of fun, and it's really funny because, you know, like I can put on a whole bunch of other stuff to like expose her to it, I suppose. But it was just a really funny, like fun experience. So then we like made a playlist, a shared playlist between the two of us, and then we can both add stuff that we think that the other person would like, which is fun. So it was a breakthrough moment.
So is this a CD game or a Hue card game?
This is a CD game.
Because it takes a long time to load in the scene. However, like it's, you know, those wouldn't be like it's generating that though. So like I think I've maybe mentioned this when you played a golf game before, but like I've never been like super into like this era of golf
We're in the
game. Like
water. Whoops.
Like I started with Mario Golf on N64, and you know, and then like Hot Shots Golf. Like this era, like I've never been into this, like gameplay wise, but I'm fascinated by how they draw these scenes.
You mean the way that it like goes across the screen and like renders it slowly?
Well, not that, but like even like NES Golf has like it has to like generate this like kind of 3D view with tiles, like based on anywhere on the course that the ball could land. It has to like be like, okay, like the perspective would be the river goes this way and the green and the rough and the sand traps and
I guess it would be really, really hard for it to render it or to like think that out, right? So
it has to like figure it out. It has to do calculations, but it like I've never seen it be this slow. Like NES Golf's not that slow, but it's still like I think that's
but it doesn't
really
do anything like this. I mean, it's not.
It's essentially drawing a 3D. It's like rendering a 3D background with tiles, basically. Like it's doing. It has to be doing like calculations of like off in the distance. It looks like there's like a little. Like it looks like you feel like it looks like it goes up a hill. Like it's. I think it's pretty impressive. Like there are lots of golf games that work similarly to this, but I think it's impressive.
Yeah, I never really thought about it that way, but when you're thinking it would make sense that it would have to draw it that slowly.
Like I can't even like wrap my head. I mean, not that I know any programming at all aside from like, you know, 1999 level HTML, but I think it's like I just can't even wrap my head around how you would program it to draw this. Like that's as far as I'm concerned, that's 3D rendering. That's amazing.
Yeah,
like there's lots of games that do it.
So it calculates how close it is to the trees. Yeah, I didn't really consider that at all, but it really actually, you are absolutely right.
Like lots of games do it, so maybe it's not as hard as I'm thinking it is, but it impresses the heck out of me.
Oh, right in the water. Oh, maybe not.
Like I remember like trying NES Golf like after I got into like Mario Golf, and I'm like, how is this doing this? How does it do it?
But it has to be able to figure it out from literally any spot on the course.
Any spot, like so, like it's not like every possible background is just like on there.
What the heck? Well, I thought I was. Oh, I was using the wedge. That's why. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. I thought it would automatically give me. There we go. That's automatically going to change me over to the putter, but it did not. Nice putt.
So hot shots. I see Sotinus bringing up hot shots. Before I read that, I should note that Jersey 117 had 999 super chat with no comment, but thank you yet again. I believe he was dropping the no comment super chats last week as well, but he's been in the Discord channel, so we can chat with him there. But anyway, Certainist was saying, I really hope that new Hot Shots is as good as the last two. I mean, first of all, I heard some people saying that it was like actually just like a kind of a port of the Vita game, which would be kind of disappointing if that's all it is.
And that version got a port of the to the PS3 also, which I bought.
Wait,
it was digital only. Oh. Well, at least in the US, there was a Japanese version. And
but anyway, it was kind of, that game was kind of in making the rounds this week because it had the Steam page go up and there's like a disclaimer on the Steam page saying
they use AI.
AI was used to like generate like some of the foliage in the background,
which is really weird because it feels like that stuff. There should be so much of that stuff out there.
But like that's just like video game leaves seem to be a pretty figured out thing.
Yes.
I mean, maybe not like maybe for the high end games. Like that's the high end games. If they're trying to push new leaf technology, like your Witcher 4s or whatever. But
right.
But your Hot Shots golfs, like trees in cartoon video game golf games, pretty figured out thing. Like, I don't know what the deal with that is. But that was definitely stirring up a lot of controversy. A lot of people are like, ooh, I'm not going to get that anymore.
Why is it only going down that much?
I wonder if the backlash from that will make them reconsider. Because I don't remember what it was, but then I saw someone link to like another example of something that they were like, okay, we heard you. We're taking the AI generated stuff out.
I don't know what I was doing.
Mellow Gaming is saying apparently the new Jurassic World Evolution uses AI to generate the portraits for scientists and mission givers. Like,
well, I think that they were shamed into not doing it. Like I
think that's the one I was thinking of, where they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
The other controversial one right now is the Front Mission 3 remake.
Oh my God! I mean, so I bought those first two. Like I got the first one on Switch. I got the second one on PS5.
Yeah.
And like those are good because they didn't get any kind of release, right?
Right. Front Mission 3 is on PS. I've always been tempted to get it because it's like not inexpensive. It's like a $15 game, and it's like never goes up in price.
Right. Well,
Square Enix release.
I mean, there's zero interest for me to buy the remake of 3, and especially now. And from what I understood, I think that they hire different developers for each one, just like whoever will do it the cheapest and fastest.
Well, isn't it that
it's the Forever Entertainment, but I don't think they did any of these in house.
Oh, really? So are they? Huh? That's interesting because I mean, they don't. Forever Entertainment does not have a very good reputation.
No.
So it's interesting they keep getting these remake projects, including, I mean, don't get me wrong, Donkey Kong Country Returns didn't deserve any better, but somehow they got a contract with Nintendo, which is insane. It's insane that they deliver a Nintendo project. Like, that's hitting the big time for them, I feel, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, they should be like, okay, guys, we made it. We gotta play it right now, right? And then they go and do this terrible AI stuff in Front Mission 3. That makes me really
and it looks so bad. It's so weird and it's so obvious.
I didn't really look at that closely. I think I saw the thumbnail of one picture. I didn't actually look at it, but
like it just feels like totally unnecessary. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they could just.
But it makes me want to get the. It makes me want, like, next time I'm game shopping, I'm like, oh, I should get the PS2 version.
Or the PS1 version.
Yeah, is it from Mission 3?
No, 3 is PS1, 4 is 2.
4's the PS2. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think
Maybe
that 3
is From Mission 3 expensive then, or no?
I don't know. I mean, I've had it for a long
Because
time.
I know the PS2 game is cheap. Like, I see it all the time as like 15.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, it's. Oh wait, no, that's loose price. It's complete's not bad either. It's $42. I might keep an eye out for those.
Whoops. I'm 21
I'll
over
keep an
power
eye
right
out
now.
for 3 and 4. Because now I'm like, oh, like actually when that news came out, I felt kind of bad that I'd already written and recorded and everything, and I still wanted to include it. And I kind of give a slap in the
Finally.
face compliment. I kind of give a slap in the face compliment to like the House of the Dead remake,
Yeah.
in the video. Did you watch my section yet?
Yeah. I did this morning.
Like I kind of gave like a slap in the face compliment to it.
Like what did you say? Like it actually makes it fun now.
Well, I said even the likes of the House of the Dead remake, by no means considered a quality product, is actually pretty fun now, especially when using gyro aim, because it feels so much smoother, at 60 FPS. Actually like hitting 60 FPS. There was also a few times that game when I was like recorded a bit on Switch 1 to make the comparison. Like this isn't the part I showed, because I thought like the part I showed had like more persistent frame rate drops, but there was a part where like it just like froze up for like a second or two on Switch 1, and it didn't do it on Switch 2. But anyway,
I'll finish this. Hold on, I'll play something else for the rest of the stream.
Anyway, I still like, even though I kind of gave it a slap in the face compliment, like I still felt bad like drawing attention to their game when they're doing this really like bad AI stuff for Front Mission 3,
Yeah.
But still, like, I gotta be honest, like I don't know if I've ever like really seen House of the Dead 1 before. Like I feel like House of the Dead 2 was the one you see for the most part, right?
Yeah, and from what I understand, like that got a demo on PC, like a remake of that, and it's like a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's not good."
Yeah, I've been hearing that, but like I would have more of a frame of reference for House of the Dead. Not that I know the game intimately, but like everyone knows like the first level of House of the Dead,
right?
Right?
Oh yeah.
But like I don't know if I've ever really seen House of the Dead 1. So the thing is, like, I don't know what it's supposed to look like, and so I think it seems fine. Like I was very disappointed when I got it and tried it on Switch 1. Because I was like, oh, this would be a good way to own this game. Like, even if it's not like the best version, like it's a way for me to have this game.
Yeah,
I want to play it. And I'm like, oh man, this is bad. This is really bad. And it's, I'm actually kind of looking forward to playing through it on Switch 2. But again, like I'm sure like hardcore Sega fans would be like, oh no, don't do that, it's terrible. But
Yeah.
I mean, it seems it's.
I just
fun.
like I just really get annoyed that all of their games have like remake in it. It's like always like :remake.
Yeah. I didn't do that with Donkey Kong, but of course they had zero control over the naming of that.
Like even that naming convention feels cheap. Sounds cheap.
Yeah, I don't know how
I'm gonna grab something else.
I don't know how they keep marketing their services, honestly.
I mean, they've shipped a lot of games. So
Pick a strong finisher here.
What's that? I was just saying they shipped a lot of games. So
Yeah, they have. But like from what you're saying, it sounds like they may not even develop in house. Like they just like farm it out. But their whole thing is like these remakes, but like no one is like, oh yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, Chico Mai says it was always House of the Dead 1 and Time Crisis 1, 2 at the local theater. Yeah, I just don't remember seeing House of the Dead 1. I remember seeing House of the Dead 2, Time Crisis 2, Time Crisis 3. Like those are the light gun games I remember seeing. Now let's see, do you need to change profiles again for this? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like you do. So this is low res.
Felt like this would Final Soldier be a good.
Final Soldier is this part of the Star Soldier series?
Yeah, it's the final. Well, it was
Is
at
it?
the time.
Didn't they make?
They did like on WiiWare or something like that. Like
yeah, I was supposed to say like I think
but
it's
I mean,
like a game for WiiWare game. I actually don't. I don't know this one. I mean, I'm I don't pay ultra close attention to the PC Engine shmups since I'm not the biggest shmup guy. Even though I know people associate them so strongly with the system. Remember when I tried to stream Superstar Soldier? Because like I played the first level, I'm like, oh, this doesn't seem too hard. And then like the beginning of the second level just like wrecked me, and I couldn't get hardly anywhere in the second one. I'm like, well, I'll need to reassess my approach on that one someday.
Yeah. This one is like not super loved. I think that people think that it's for being like the last one, it's a bit of a wet fart.
Well, it looks all right.
Yeah, but I think compared to like something like Soldier Blade or like it's just not as good of a not as good as what came before. And they like call it final.
No, I mean it doesn't like look terribly more like advanced.
No.
From previous ones.
I think it might not be considered to be that hard either.
Is this I mean I don't know. Super
Wait,
Star
is Soldier Blade the
one.
last game? So it's not.
Oh, okay. I would trust the username called Turbo X-Ray PCE to know.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
You are right. I cannot conceive of you being wrong with that name. Is this like is Super Star Soldier the only one that released in the US?
Well, Soldier Blade did.
Okay, but is this Japanese copy you've got here?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
This was a gift. Yes, it is Zaxxor.
The Bonanza Duo. Oh, Zaxxor.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's the Zaxxor.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. I have been enjoying my Turbo Bonanza as well. I started actually making a video on it a couple months ago, but then like I had to get sidetracked. But I am intending, unless something else sidetracks me, I'm intending to make my next video. I mean, I know it's not like anything new or anything, but I just think it's really cool, and I want to draw attention to it because I didn't know about it until earlier this year, just from the Retro RGB podcast. I'm like, oh wait, there's an S video mod that has the composite colors. What?
I'm pretty sure that Zaxxor also did the like there's a new like a Master System mod also that like fixes the video and has like FM built in and stuff like that.
Nice. My
the Fenris was saying, oh, you should get this and send it to me.
Yeah, my Master System has pretty poor video output. However, I don't have space to hook it up. So it's not.
Yeah. Well, my childhood one is like the video is real dark on it, but I found one later on that has brighter video. Right. It's like a Swiss Army. It like works in all of them. So my childhood Master System, the video is real dark. And Fenris was like, "Oh, you should order this." And I was like, "Yes, I will do that," because I think
Whoa, that's a cool effect. That teleport that you did.
Because that's certainly something that interests me, and I would love to get my my childhood Master System kind of back in use. Because I have the old, was it like the Tim Worthington FM mod, and that was in my childhood system. I got it, put it in there. I put it in there, and then I got another Master System from like Arcade Legacy when it was like someone traded it in, and it was real cheap. And I was like, oh, this one's a lot brighter. So I ended up moving that FM mod into that. I did that myself. So my childhood system is just...
Oh, Zaxxor says mine doesn't touch the FM audio, but if you have it there, just send the output to the master bypass board audio.
Okay, so I could put the FM mod back into it then.
Zaxxor, when I was, initially working on that script that I'm going to, get back to pretty soon here, I was like looking at the time. I was looking like I was looking at your Ko-fi or Ko-fi or however you say that website's name.
Like Buy Me a Coffee.
I don't know 100% for sure. Yeah, it's probably, I think it's coffee, but anyway. At the time, I want to say it was like, only 2 left or something like that. But then I like saw like, because I didn't know a lot about this other than it has composite colors on S video and I can get with the Saturn S video cable. I'm like, I want that. And I didn't do a lot of our research. I just had Fenris put it in the system.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But what I'm saying is, correct me if I'm wrong, Zaxxor, but when I saw that there weren't a lot available, I did see it. Is it, at least at the time, maybe, I don't know if you've maybe restocked. Maybe you do want to restock since we might have a video out soon. I don't know. Anyway, but it is open source, right? I don't know if there's like a particular license on it or anything, but like I saw it was on your GitHub. Okay, so it's on GitHub, and if people have the means to manufacture it themselves, because like I saw it's on Video Game Perfection, for instance, for people in Europe. But I don't know if anyone else other than you is making it in the U.S. right now. Oh, okay. You have Plane, but you've closed the shop for the month. Or for a month. Do you know when you're going to open the shop again? Because, people always complain when we do a video.
Like, oh, I can't even buy it.
Well, they're like, well, what's the point even done? Well, here's another retro product you can't even buy. And they say that even when you can.
Yeah.
They just like assume it's not.
And it's always in that voice.
Well, yeah, it's always in that voice. Another retro product you can't even buy. Coming back in August. Okay. Like, is it like August 1st or? Because I might wait until then, just so that if people are interested, it's available. Because maybe I'll deviate to something else first. Because I mean, we just finished that Switch 2 video yesterday, so like I'm not like active. Like I've actually got like 2 or 3 like partially finished scripts, so I could do something else. Oh yeah, do you have me on Discord, Zach? Or you could just message me there.
Or if
Okay.
not, you can always get our information from Fenris or somebody somewhere. Having a hard time with stage 2. Those second stages are always the hardest. If I ever made a game, I would make the second stage like a really, really difficult, and then the rest of the game is easy after that. Another retro product you can't even buy. Why? What are you buying?
I think that would be the thing to do. Wait till his shop is open again, and then make this video. So I'll think about what I want to do before then.
All right, one more attempt here.
Is this like what I was complaining with Superstar Soldier, where level 2 is just like way harder?
Yeah, that's what I was joking about. Yeah, we played Bonk for a while, but now it's played some Valis 2 and some Galaga 90 and some Jack Nicklaus Turbo Golf. Now we're wrapping it up with some
Zaxor, I don't
Soldier Blade.
I don't
Not
even
Soldier
know
Blade,
what,
Final Soldier, sorry.
I don't see a
See, now it looks like the game is not running. It looks like it's running at 30 FPS.
Oh yeah.
On the stream.
I don't see I don't know if you sent it to the right Triforce, Zaxor. I don't see a. Oh wait. Oh wait, I might be looking the wrong. Oh, never mind. I think I might have been looking at the. Is it a picture of a guy with glasses holding a black and white dog? Is that the Zaxor? Because that is a pending friend request I see. Oh, okay. Let's see.
Well, now it's running. It looks like it's running fine, but it was like chugging there for a little bit.
I use Discord all the time. And sometimes I just don't know how you do. Wait.
Did everybody survive the heat wave? Man, it was pretty intense this week. Was it hot down there too?
Man, there was the craziest storm, like 5 o'clock today. Like it was like shining bright sunshine is as bright as you could imagine. But like the rain just started pouring down like you wouldn't believe. And like the wind was like, I mean, it was like practically like horizontal rain. Like, it was like water running down the street and like 2 small branches fell off the tree in my front yard.
Dang.
Yeah, it was it was crazy. And
but no heat wave. I mean, you mostly had.
Oh, I mean, it was hot. I mean, it was hot, but I didn't have need to spend much time outside, so I didn't. But yeah, it was crazy. Like it was, and it just like it did that for probably like 15 minutes. It was just like, but it was like sunshine the whole time. And then like within 2 hours, like everything was just dry, like nothing ever happened.
Wild.
Yeah, Zaxor, there has for a long time. Yeah, I see your requests here in Discord now. There's been someone from Canada, I believe. This spells Triforce with a capital C. And that is why I am not always Triforce on all services. Sometimes I am Triumph Forks.
Level feels like something out of like a Tiger Heli or something like that. It does not feel like it would be something in a Star Soldier game.
That kind of like transparency effect is kind of cool on those robots.
Yeah.
Like it's probably just like I think they were just like changing to the tile of the stone, but the color of the stone, but it was kind of a convincing effect anyway.
Look at that pause screen too. It's pretty intense. I bet you if you were right, that'd be a good test to show like if 240p was working, if your TV was interpreting 240p correctly back in the day, right?
Yep.
Don't even have to think about that stuff anymore. Isn't that kind of amazing?
Yep.
How times have changed.
Yep. I mean,
because there's I was just thinking about it because there's that new RetroTink 4K update that made it so it doesn't drop at all when it goes between 240p and
right
and 480i, and it's just got very interesting because it's interesting because it's almost like he had to go back to like go forward, you know, by making it so that the RetroTink functions or reads the signal like a CRT does.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the key to making that work.
Right.
I don't know. It just seems like.
But you said that there was like a slight you can't make it as sharp.
It just like it's like barely noticeable.
Right. Does it lock out any other features?
No, I mean they say like you really only need to use it if it's a game that switches a ton.
Right.
But it's just, I don't know. I just think it's very interesting that it like the thought process had to go backwards to like go forward to figure it out.
It's now
because I mean it just seems like something that people would have thought about, like, oh well, I mean it works flawlessly on a CRT. How can we make a scaler that just reads it exactly like that?
I mean that effectively kind of makes it like a CRT emulator in a way.
Yeah. It's just interesting, I guess.
It is interesting.
I mean, just got one life left.
Oh yeah, you should definitely update the RetroTink 4K.
Yeah, yeah, and they come out so often. I mean, I feel like there's like 4 updates last week.
I mean, sometimes there's a month or two between updates. But,
yeah, where he takes like a break or something.
Although, like experimental firmware, I don't know how. I mean, I usually use the experimental firmware because it's pretty rare he messes anything up, and if he does, it's like fixed. Like and another update like that the same day.
Yeah, the same day or like the next day. Yeah. But anyways,
I found early on, like in testing the RetroTink 4K before it came out, like almost every time I was about to report a bug, like I was like, wait, let me look at the firmware list, and like there would be the change log would be like it fixed the exact thing I was about to tell them.
Yeah, or you could be like, oh, this thing sounds like it would be really nice to have, and then it would appear like the next day.
Yeah.
But all right, I think that's gonna do it.
Okay.
Thanks to everybody who donated, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful week.
Yeah,
I'm glad that everybody liked the new video, and
thanks Zaxor, the maker of the mod, for popping in.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate that. It came out really good. Big thanks to Fenris Wolf Retro for doing the mod. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great week. See you soon.
Thanks everyone for watching the Switch 2 video.
Yep. All right, everybody. Good night.
Good night.